So what I figured we talk about today is social media marketing, because you two crushed that, right?
Yeah.
And let's start with YouTube, right? Is that, would you say that's your best platform as far as followers and just getting out there?
Well, that's a great question, Arthur. What people fail to realize a lot with social media is you have to be active on all of them.
Yeah.
Right? So even before we jump into YouTube, one of the things that I think I did well that very few people do, regardless if they're in real estate or not, is they don't utilize all the platforms.
Yeah.
Right. There's misconceptions that it takes too long, or how do I do it? Dude, the first, from when we met until even after Miami, because we met each other in Miami for the Mike Ferry Superstar Retreat, October of 2015.
Yeah, we did a couple of videos.
That's right.
Before then, and even for a year or almost 2 years after that, I did everything from my iPhone. I did my YouTube videos from this. I did all the editing with this.
Yeah.
Like, I just shot it from my phone and posted it.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do.
It is, and even to this day, I don't spend more than, I would say, an hour a day either messing with it or producing content, right? Besides me sitting down and doing a podcast like this, where it's like 30, 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But just the messing around with the phone, YouTube, it's not more than an hour.
Yeah.
And all I did was, for example, now you can take a video and you can post it on Instagram, Facebook, on the story, Snapchat, on YouTube. You can do YouTube stories now.
But that's like recent.
Yeah.
Right.
But what I did before was I would make sure that every video, like let's start with YouTube.
Yeah.
I would say, hey, I'm making YouTube videos. If you want to follow more of my day-to-day, like in the office, here's my Facebook, here's my Instagram.
Oh, that's smart.
So, yeah,
so driving traffic to the
cross-promoting, because let's say 4 of us are consumers out there. Maybe David only uses YouTube for the majority of his consumption. I use Facebook, she uses Instagram, you use Snapchat. If I just do YouTube, I'm only going to get to David.
Yeah.
I'll be missing me, Loida, and you.
Right.
And that's what people have forgotten, is that some people only use certain platforms. And with YouTube, I think that platform was great for kind of establishing your brand. But I think overall, you really need to use all of them if you want to be like a household name.
Do you post the same content on all the different social media sites, or?
A lot of times, yeah.
Yep.
Or if it is different, I'll be talking about the same subject. Like I'll go live on YouTube, and then maybe I'll do a different live later in the day for Instagram, but it'll be about the same topic, Because I have it scheduled now, hey, every evening at 6 p.m., unless it's my podcast day, which is Monday and Wednesday, I'm doing an Instagram live for like 20 minutes. I'm just going to answer questions and shake hands with people online.
Like, it's easy, but you know what? It is work. You do have to schedule it. Like, I schedule, especially like the busier you get, you have to schedule time when you're going to do social media. Like, if that's your thing, so it's got to be something you do all the time.
The error is people spend too much time consuming instead of producing. Because I get approached all the time, oh, do you watch this YouTuber? I'm like, no, dude, I just create.
I don't even watch my own YouTube.
Yeah, me either, dude.
People are like, you remember this video? I'm like, I don't know.
You post it and don't look back.
I quoted your top video better than you.
He did. He quoted verbatim.
Salad, baby.
I'm making calls.
These people make us. Can you do a reenactment of that?
So the top, I think, is it the top video on your channel?
Yeah, we'll link it. We'll link it.
That's the top.
So back when I was coming up in the game, I started researching on YouTube a little bit, and I was following Mike Ferry, but I started watching other people make calls. And at the time, I think it was only Derek Lipsky and David that were making calls and posting them. And I was like, damn. So I remember Mike Ferry saying, you got a cold call. I was like, all right, cool, let's just see what it's like, because I had never cold called a day in my life. And I see this guy's videos and Derek's, and one of them I remember, he's in the office, and he's getting ready to make a call. He's like, yeah, I'm about to call this FISBO. And this lady walks by, she's like, oh, do you want a steak?
She's like, I'm going home making steak.
And he's like, these people are making salads, I'm making calls. And then he gets on, and then he closes the guy for the appointment.
That was
the
best reenactment. Alright, I got a good question. My next question is for the celebrity right here, Loida.
Okay.
So she spoke last night at the NAREP event.
Good job.
Yeah, you did an
Thank
awesome
you.
job. Crushed it.
Thank you.
Crushed it. Took all the spotlight off of BC for once, One of the things you said, you were talking about, is YouTube and how important videos were to the consumer.
Yeah.
And you gave the advice, it was a bunch of real estate professionals in the room, and you gave the advice, if you're not doing videos, you should start doing videos. Tell us the importance of doing videos in real estate, and also you could chime in on your personal brand. Like, why is that so important?
Well, when it comes to video, we saw it as an opportunity to put ourselves out there. Just because just like you mentioned, every day people are on Facebook, Instagram, we're pretty much glued to our phones.
Right.
So we had to figure out, okay, what can we do to stand out amongst other realtors?
Yeah.
So when it comes to video, we use it in our business. We send video text messages.
Yep.
When it comes to follow-up, many times the clients, they don't respond, they don't answer the calls, but you send them a video and they say, oh, thank you. And now they can see you're an actual person as opposed to just another cookie-cutter realtor.
Right, and they see your personality, the way you're interacting. They realize you're a real human being. And I think that helps them get to know you better before you even get to the listing appointment or a buyer consultation. We've been utilizing videos from like 10 years ago, since day one.
Hey, look over here, guys.
Talk about the importance of using video in your personal brand. You don't have to pause for this, guys.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I mean, when it comes to personal brand, and this is, I'm glad you asked that, Arthur, because this is, I think, the missing piece for a lot of people, especially real estate professionals, is let's say somebody goes online and they're either looking for help, like, you know, some of our videos provide help, like the calls, or they're a consumer looking for an agent. We know from experience that 99% of the realtors making content, they all look and sound the same. Right? Oh, come look at my listing 1556, you know, Elm Street here in downtown Boston, for example. And they just, it's the same video, just with a person who's a little bit taller, a little bit shorter, you know, different suit. And there's no person, I don't like to say personality because everybody's personality is different. There's no uniqueness to it.
Right.
And when it comes to
it kind of is personality, right? Like a little...
you have to have that. And then this is where I think people have a mistake, is they don't want to cross the line and say, well, I don't want to show anything about me. It just has to be about real estate in the listing or whatever it is that they're representing, and they don't come out. When I say in the end, people are hiring you. They're not hiring the realtor David or the realtor Arthur. They're hiring you guys. They like your swag, they like your style, they like your attitude, whatever it is. And certain people gravitate towards different aspects of other individuals, but unless you let that shine, you're not going to give yourself that opportunity, right? Because there's some people who don't like who I am. That's fine. But I get so many more people who are loyal on a friendship level and customers because I show who I am, and she does too. That's the difference. I'm not afraid to do something and maybe have 2 people call me goofy. I don't care. Because then it's going to be that much more popular, the video, and I'm going to get that much more attention from the consumer, and they'll watch my video a little bit longer. Now they're more likely to use me. I'm cool with that.
Do you guys find, and I know you have because we've been doing it, but just by virtue of putting out so much content, do you find that there's a lot of haters out there?
Oh, like
just people.
The more you put out, the more. Definitely. I told you guys a story yesterday. Well, that was a physical, but I had people that are like, I'm like, dude, I'll find you and I'll beat you. You know what I mean?
So I was gonna ask him for this advice, but he's probably the worst one to ask. So what advice would you give to people to be able to overcome that, right? Because I hear a lot of times celebrities, and I listen to like Joe Rogan's podcast or whatever, and like big UFC fighters, whatever, they'll say like, I read all the comments on Twitter, and basically they get depressed and like they don't know how to handle it. So do you read all those comments? How do you react? How do you respond? We'll start with D and just work our way around the room.
Let's hear it, Big D.
I know, we already know his answer. He just tries to fight him.
He'll show up at the house.
You know how on Instagram you can tell where the person is? You go to that location. No, I think that I actually read a quote today, and it was basically saying something along the lines of, first of all, it's a personal thing, you know what I mean? If I say words and my words affect you on any social media platform or in person, then that means you're not like self-in-tuned and just doing your own thing. Because if words can make you react at any given point in time, then you don't have control of yourself, right? And to be a leader and to be great, you just gotta have that like calming where people can't just go in and rattle you. I think that's the best approach. That's not exactly my approach.
Definitely not about that.
Because I have like, you know, I have a thing that's also where if a person is like such an a-hole, I don't mind being an a-hole to an a, you know what I mean? Like that's just me. I don't think that's the right thing to do, but I'm working on it, you know?
Right.
So do you read all the comments that people post on those platforms, or do you just ignore them?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody posts, if somebody takes the time to read and post something positive that's in line with what we're doing, I'll answer it. I'll say thank you to every single person that comments. That's cool. But if there's like someone that's just like out of this world derogatory, I'll probably egg them on a little bit more, you know what I mean? And then like, I haven't deleted comments, I don't think, but you know, if somebody's an a-hole and they want to be mad, I let them be mad. I'm not here to save lives, you know, I'm not Mother Teresa. But I also do reward people that are like, you know, there's people that are commenting right now that are super nice, right? There's going to be some person that comments that's going to be an a-hole. And it's like, screw that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I try to keep it like way out of, like, I just don't want it around me. Just like if there were negative, there's no negative people in my circle, I don't want any negative people that just talk trash around me. It's just not good, because eventually it's a disease.
Yeah. Right.
What about you? You have over 100,000, is that right? 100,000 subscribers
Yeah.
on YouTube, and you grew that in the last 5 years alone. So
Yeah.
you must get way more comments than a lot of
Than
people.
all of us.
So do you read
Yeah.
them? Do you
Yeah.
respond to them? And how do you react when
Yeah.
when there's people just like, sometimes it's like some guy that's like eating a hamburger and he's like 300 pounds and he's just like, BC, you're a BC.
Yeah.
Mom's basement,
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, man. Like a lot of it has evolved, kind of like, you know, what
Yeah.
David's talking about, reading and then learning more. So I've kind of evolved, but lately it's been a couple things. One, I do go through all the comments because there are people who actually need help and
Yeah.
want help, or
Yeah.
they're saying, "Hey, thank you for the video, cool." So I like to acknowledge
Do you
that.
find it to be a challenge that the bigger your brand grows and the more followers you have to respond to everybody?
Yeah, definitely. I still do my best to, you know, it's just like you schedule. I'll schedule
Yeah.
20, 30 minutes to go through the emails or, you know, go through the comments. But I do want to, you know, reciprocate, right? If they give out love or good vibes, I'll give it back.
But at some point you can't.
Yeah.
At some point it becomes like,
Yeah, too
like
much.
if you think
Yeah.
of like super celebrities and
Yeah.
you look on their feeds, it's like 300,000 comments,
Yeah,
so
you
they
can't
answer
go
like
through
one
it.
or two. I mean, at
Yeah.
some point you're just too, you can't
Yeah.
do it all.
It's impossible.
But in regards to the hate, this is what I see. I just a real easy way that helped me just get around it completely was I would just empathize with the person and be like, man, like he was saying, if they're an a-hole all the time, they must be going through some stuff, or maybe they're not all right there in the head.
Yeah.
So from that position, it can affect you. Because a lot of people take it personal. They're like, oh man, this guy's
hard not to
Do you,
take
do you ever take stuff personal?
I used
or-
to, not anymore. Not anymore. I've kind of built that muscle, and I think it has a lot to do with us learning and maturing too, as salespeople and as adults. Because we have our moments too, like you know,
Right,
him
right.
showing up at the FISBO with the baseball bat, like, hey, want to say it to my face. But you know, I think that's just a process to go through. And I don't care how tough
Yeah.
somebody thinks they are. When you start putting yourself out there, it could be a challenge. Look at all the celebrities. How many
Who-
have had drug problems or wanted to commit suicide? And part of it has to do with that negativity
People.
or
I mean, we're
criticism.
humans, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like hard to not hear another human say something to you and be like, oh, it's nothing. You know,
Yeah.
at some point, like
Yeah.
if it's somebody that is I don't know, somebody can rattle your internal being. But you know what? There's a quote for that. Haters gonna hate. I just let the money pile up.
I think that's a wrap. I think that's a wrap.
For now.
Now, I was going to ask you the same question, but as I'm thinking about it, it's impossible that somebody hates on Loida. Is it? Do you have haters?
Oh,
I do. I
Like,
do
no.
get
Oh, Are
You
you
should
kidding
see,
me?
I've
No
got
way.
comments where people tell me, oh, the only reason that I'm successful in real estate is because I'm a woman and I'm pretty.
Oh my
and I don't
God,
have any
what a
skills.
waste.
And yeah, and I read
Wow.
those comments, I laugh. In the beginning, it used to kind of make me mad, just like any of us. But then after, you're just like, think, okay, like you had 5-10 minutes of your time to write this long ass comment just to be dumb.
Do you respond?
To those, no.
Do you just
No.
ignore them or delete them? Or what
I
do you do?
ignore them, and usually I'll delete them and block them. I don't want any type of comments like that or any type of engagement
just
and
bad.
negative in
yeah,
my.
it's just bad.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Since we're on the topic of YouTube, let's and we could go back this way. We'll start with Loida, so she can't cheat. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So let's ask you. So you personally have 35,000 subscribers. Is that right on
Yeah.
YouTube? And you've been doing it pretty much at the same time.
Yeah, like 3.5 years.
How do you grow your followers by that much? That's a lot. I mean, most people don't
Yeah.
have 35,000. Never mind 3,000. Never mind 500 followers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. So
Of
how do you
course.
grow that?
I was very consistent from the time that I started. I knew that in order for me to gain an audience and people want to follow me, I
Yeah.
had to be putting out content as much as I could. So my goal for me, it was minimum once a week.
So every week you would put
Every
out a
week.
video.
Yes.
So consistency.
Consistency,
Yeah.
yeah. And what I would do it on is anything that I was going through in a transaction or what I was learning, I was putting it out there because I knew somebody else would probably be going
Have
through
the
the same thing.
yeah.
And over time they saw, okay, this girl, Loida, she doesn't have that many subscribers, but she's putting out good information and it's every single week. And just that way, that's how it started to grow. People started sharing my videos. and just commenting how they could relate to what I was talking about.
It's a lot of work to be selling real estate and also be putting out that much content consistently, right?
Yeah, and just like Brian mentioned, all I did for the first 3 years was do it on my iPhone.
Gotcha.
I think a lot of people think
that makes it easier.
It does, yeah. And I didn't edit it a lot, so I just filmed it straight to my computer and uploaded. I created a thumbnail, and that's pretty much what was it. I think a lot of people limit themselves and think, okay, well, I need this really expensive $1,000 camera and a fancy microphone and lighting,
like that.
and then that stops them.
Yeah, and you need an edit or whatever. So,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, this right here is a weapon.
Yes.
According to Loida.
Yes.
All right,
it is.
BC, what about you? How'd you grow your audience? Like, would you say it's the same thing, consistency, or
That's part of it, yeah.
you probably got some tips and tricks for a lot of our listeners are business people. A lot of them are real estate, but any type of sales.
Yeah.
So they may be wanting to look and grow their brands like you have
Yeah.
as well. You know.
Well, a lot of it, one mistake I see people make that I did it in the beginning is you gotta nail down what's your thing gonna be in the beginning. Like for us, it was sales, calls, prospecting, real estate. We can call that under the umbrella of sales. So we focused on that. I think what a lot of people do when they want to grow their brand is they start, okay, well, I'm going to do sales, I'm going to do this, and they try to throw 10 topics on their YouTube before they establish some kind of foundation.
Yeah.
Because the next step for me to really grow it was starting to collab with people. Like I've always been a car nut. I've always loved cars. But I didn't bring that in my channel until like 2 or 3 years into doing YouTube.
And
when I established myself. Yeah. Because then now you start opening doors to other people who are in the car community who know, hey, this guy's into cars too. They'll follow you. Then some of them will be like, oh, I need to buy real estate. Oh, I'm interested in getting my real estate license.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do sales. Then it starts growing, right? Then a lot of my friends are dating coaches. I brought that onto my channel too, right? And now I collab with them. And it just started growing from there because all the stuff that I'm involved with or that I'm interested in, like boxing now, right? I have a bunch of people on my Instagram now, and I'm going to start interviewing boxers on my YouTube too.
Yeah.
Because some of them were ex-fighters who started their own businesses or are still boxing and have multiple businesses. So it goes back to what I told you in the beginning about showing your personality and who you are. But I first started with that one thing, then I started extending, you can say, one branch here, one branch there. And that collaboration is what ultimately creates that vortex to really help you grow. Because then you get access to new audiences who might not have looked at you before. Because maybe if you guys are in the cars and you start going to the car shows, like, oh, DNA, we love these guys.
Yeah, I was just telling you earlier, you can't have a Lambo in Boston. I don't know what to do, man. Those potholes are vicious. But yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. What about you? I mean, your top videos about steak and salad got 100,000 views. So what do you do to grow that?
Steak and salad.
Well, I think we know your secret. So consistency, going into other people, collaborating. And
But
then
you guys intentionally are growing your thing. Let me tell you how my channel started out. I basically did a couple videos just for fun, and people started watching them and messaging me. And then we got a couple subscribers, then we got a couple more subscribers. So like, I think still generally, I'm just having fun. But now, with the amount of knowledge we do have, basically what we do is we're putting out good content, right? Like somebody can watch this show and they can learn that a couple things they can do on YouTube or social or start their little journey, right? So I think like we're just out here putting out good content and showing people the stuff that we learned, you know what I mean? And if it helps somebody, that's cool.
Yeah.